Sutton United Talk Time on podcast. It's the Sutton Podcast.
And there it is! Sutton United of the GM Vauxhall Conference have put out First Division Coventry City, winners of the FA Cup themselves less than 2 years ago. And what a moment to enjoy for the fans of this Surrey side. They've had their moments before, but never one like this. But the whistle goes now. Delight for Sutton United. Sutton United from the National League are through to the last 16 of the FA Cup. No longer English football's perennial non-league club. A 123-year crescendo reaches a new peak for Sutton United, who are promoted to the Football League for the first time.
Hello and welcome to a Saturday special. I think I'm going to go with. Obviously, we don't have a game today. There's something going on tomorrow. Not done this before, so it's going to be a bit of a wing it. So everyone, please bear with me. I've got quite a few guests today, so I think I'll try and do it in order that you joined. Hello, Paul.
Hello. How you doing?
Very good, thank you. Claire, hi.
Hi.
Andy, you just pipped Sarah, but Andy, hello.
Afternoon, sir.
Very good. And it would have taken a photo finish, but Sarah joined us as well, just almost at the same time. Hi, Sarah.
Hello. Please excuse me for cooking at the same time.
That's all good. Don't mind. Although not too sure whether the sensors will like you showing up the pestle again, because it took me a minute to work out what you got there. So we're all very, very excited, and lots happened, but one of the strangest things happened now. I'm going to quickly not talk to you for about 2 minutes, but we'll play the new song, or the second song. First cup final in 40 years, we get 2 songs, so bear with.
Rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine for the Sutton, rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Sutton, we are the U's and we're gonna win this cup. David and your boy, it's too quick for you. We are the U's and we're gonna use you up. Here comes Tanto, you might as well give up. That trophy belongs to us. We are Sutton United. Yeah, you're welcome to visit us. We're on Camden Lane. We've come so far, so far. Gonna turn back now. Rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine for the chocolate and amber team. Rock tambourine, the chocolate and amber team. We are the U's and we're gonna win this. Matt Gray's our leader, remember his name. We are the U's, we don't run out of juice. We've got a chairman and his name is Bro. That trophy goes to us. We are Sutton United. Yes, you're welcome to visit us. We're on the Green Lane. We've come so far, so far. We're not gonna turn back now. Rock your tambourine. The chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine. Chocolate and amber team. Sutton, rock your tambourine. Dignity at the dry job.
Right, Andy, you're the musician.
Well, that's just extraordinary, isn't it?
Fine choice of words.
It's a rhyme with booze and juice. You can't beat a rhyme with booze and juice.
No, Right, there's a couple of points. Rosie watched it the first time and straight away, again, and on the second time she was singing along. And then when she got very excited with Bruce, I then thought, oh, let me show her. Daddy's a bit brilliant. Let me show her. I spoke to Bruce the other day. No, that's not Bruce. He doesn't look the same. So, no, that's an old picture of him. No, not having it. Not having a bar of it. But yeah, brilliant. I think they were trying to get Mr. Chuckle to have a go for Rotherham as well, but
I just love how awkward AB looked, shaking his tambourine. It was just like, I don't really know what to do, but I'm going to shake it anyway.
Matt, when I was talking to Matt and he said, "Oh, there's no cup final song," I'm thinking afterwards. Now I'm thinking, you didn't check your diary for the next day, did you?
I think Rotherham must see us as a bit of a quirky old side. They're going to probably think, what are we coming up against?
What are they doing? Yeah, but it's all a bit. Oh, it's just the whole thing has been a bit weird, isn't it? I know, Claire, I saw you at the pizza bus thing. Did any of you lot get along to the bus on the day?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What, at the ground or in the centre?
In town centre, and it was. You know what? I'm glad it was the town centre I went to actually, because it's quite normal these days to go to the ground and see people in Sutton, that you don't really know, because our crowds are. You know, our gates have expanded so much recently. We've got loads of new places, which is fantastic. But in the town centre, having people walking around the town centre wearing Sutton shirts and scarves, and people I don't know, people I've never seen at a game before, are really getting into it and like soaking up the atmosphere. And it was like one thing that it's never really felt like we've had a big presence in the town of Sutton. But the other day with the bus day, it felt like it was part of the town, and I loved it. Really loved it.
Sorry, Paul, Andy, I don't know. Did you see it? Or? I didn't see it, but I popped into Sutton this morning, and although I strongly discourage people, there were at least 2 or 3 vendors there selling hooky spiv-like merchandise, which were, to be honest, were quite bad. I mean, they had scarves with the Sutton badge, but obviously they couldn't show the Sutton badge, so they had a Sutton kit written on it, and it was just really, really bizarre. But actually, just seeing a presence of us in Sutton High Street, as Sarah said, it's something we're not really that used to. Every time it's happened before, it's been, you know, AB on a stand trying to sell tickets, etc., etc. But this has kind of been organic in a way, and for a competition that a lot of people have derided for various reasons, and actually, in terms of the league structure, it's quite a minor competition. You know, we're getting, as a town, we're getting pretty excited about it. Even if you're not a Sutton United supporter, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Claire's just having connection issues, so she's going to restart. But yeah, I was at work in the office. I happened to be in the office that day, and then realised it was going to be there. So it was wonderful. So from sort of 2:30 onwards, I'm staring out the window trying to work out, can I see them? And running out. I got changed into my shirt and went running out the door. Got a little bit. Not miffed, but yeah, I suppose, because I lined up a nice photo, which you probably saw with some of the players, and we're all looking at my camera, and just as I think it was Tim actually going to take the photos for me, just as he was about to start taking the photos on my phone, the EFL photographer shouted, "Oh, over here," and everyone turned, so I've got a whole load of pictures of like side-on faces, apart from that one. So I was like, nah. So I saw them put it up on their website, so I was like, this picture's lovely. Can I have the entire sequence, please, since you stole my shot? We will find out. But no, Lottie, my daughter, was in Sutton this morning, and she said there's the guys with the trolleys, which is just brilliant. And she said there's a wall just outside Top Shop or something.
Yeah,
there's a wall with lots and lots of things about the town, but
yeah, I mean, there's about 4 or 5 Sutton United related pictures in there, but there's kind of other little ones. But I mean, the Sutton United pictures in there dominate that wall for sure.
Which it should. It is as Sarah was saying, it's about time, really, that it was acknowledged that we've got a little football club down the road. Well, not a little football club anymore, big time football club down the road. But who's coping well? I'm not.
I'm fine. I've got no expectations for the day at all. I you know, the pressure, in my opinion, is all on Rotherham. I think, you know, we're the underdog, the plucky underdog who they don't expect us to beat them. They expect. I'm sure they expect to win. They may think they're going to have a game on their hands, but I'm sure they're expecting to win it. I'm disappointed to see Wigan only drew and didn't knock them off the top of the table earlier today. I was hoping that might have been a little distraction if they got knocked off the top. But
no,
yeah,
when we win, we're beating the top team available to be in the final.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I think we've all kind of basically said that the result is kind of whatever. We've got to Wembley. Obviously, we'd like to win, but yeah, we it's the journey that we got there. Who thinks they're going to cry? I do. 100%.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the result either, but it's the excitement that I'm struggling with at the moment. I'm struggling to kind of, you know, I'm in that situation where you just don't know what to do with yourself. I've got so much stuff that I've got to get done today, and I'm having a really, really busy day. But at the same time, I'm really struggling with like the emotions and the build up and stuff like that. I can't find room in my head for everything.
Look, I saw one tweet saying some Rotherham fan, I can't remember exact phrasing, and I think he was kind of joking, but he wants a pint of Sutton United tears or fan tears.
Mine if he wants.
And I was like, yeah, come round before the game. And the only other tears are going to be if we win, because if we lose, we ain't going to get a share. But yeah, it's all very, very exciting. So when Andy, I'll go with you. When is going to be real for you? When is it going to be suddenly? Oh, we really
the moment is going to be. I mean, I'm like Paul. I'm actually quite calm. I'm not massive. I'm excited, but I'm not excited. It's the moment it will hit me will be when I walk into the ground and take my seat and actually realise that this is something. Because many of us have been to Wembley before, either as a neutral or as supporting England or whatever it is. So going to the actual ground itself won't be anything particularly different. It will be when I go in there and I look around and I start seeing other Sutton fans and I see this sea of amber. But I think Paul actually hit the nail on the head. We have absolutely nothing to lose. We are the underdogs, which actually by default will make us the neutral's favourite, because a neutral will always love an underdog. If we win, absolutely fantastic, stunning. We've won a major trophy. If we lose, we just go for it again next year. I think for me, the important thing was getting to Wembley. Anything beyond that now for me is a bonus. So as a result, I'm quite calm. But I'm just so pleased for others. And again, I've mentioned this before, seeing people at the Wigan game, like Gareth Miller actually shedding a tear, because it means so much to people to get to Wembley. That to me even beat the penalty shootout in terms of emotion, in terms of excitement, because I understand how much for many of us, including me, who's never been to Wembley for something, even though I'm old, it's something we've always wanted to happen, and we've had so many near misses in that respect, that to finally get there is the dream. So everything else is a bonus.
Absolutely. Claire, I saw you shaking your head at the start of that. And welcome back, Claire.
Government IT isn't what it used to be. Basically, I mean, I agree with some of the stuff that Andy said, but I mean, I like you, Mike. I've never been to Wembley to watch football. I've been there for gigs and whatnot a couple of times, but I've never watched a football match there. Much like at the beginning of the season, I'd never watched a Football League game because I just genuinely wasn't interested, because it wasn't Sutton. So I've never been to watch a game at Wembley because it was never Sutton, so it didn't interest me. So the thought that like tomorrow is, it's my first time watching football at Wembley, but it's my Sutton United, and it's insane. And I can't quite get my head around it. I genuinely woke up this morning feeling quite sick. I've got this like knot in the top of my stomach that just doesn't seem to want to go away. Absolutely spot on from Andy. Like, going is the prize. Winning would be absolutely the icing on the cake. I mean, the trophy wouldn't fit in the trophy cabinet anyway, because the trophy cabinet is very small. So that's one thing. But I mean, it's just the fit. I said this to Greek earlier, actually, popped round to pick up his tickets, and my genuine concern is that tomorrow will be amazing, but nothing will come close to that feeling at the end of the Wigan game, and that moment when Dino saved that penalty, and just that kind of like absolute release and that excitement, and the screaming and the crying and the just that real raw emotion that proved to me I'm not dead inside. It was just unbelievable. And so like I really hope tomorrow feels like that. But it's just the journey, isn't it? It's that moment. I think I listened to your podcast this morning with Bruce and Matt, and listening to Bruce say, you know, that there'll be that moment when you look around and you just see that sea of amber, and I think that's going to be just the most incredible moment. And yeah, pinch yourself kind of feeling.
Mm. Oh. That's what. Do you know what that noise is? What I was actually one of the things I was worried about on doing this whole show, because I thought it'd be a whole hour of just all of us just. It's something wrong with your podcast, Mike. No, that genuinely was the conversation.
That's just how we all sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on, Paul. When's it going to hit home and be real?
Yeah, I mean, I think walking down Wembley Way, and obviously our name's going to be up on the big screen, isn't it? As you approach Wembley, no doubt, and that's going to be weird. But I think it's going to be, you know, kickoff. There's going to be over 14,000 Sutton United fans at Wembley. You know, that's the thing that's going to get me. I think. Everyone's going to be, you know, a lot of people are going to join in singing. I'm sure you won't yourself, Mike.
Yeah, no.
But there's going to be probably a lot of noise as well. I think a lot of our songs that are sung are going to be known by others or easy to pick up, and I think that a lot of people will sort of join in as well, and we're all spread out a little bit as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I think yeah, the hairs on the back of your neck are going to go up at various times during the game as well. So, no, I can't wait. Just can't wait.
Absolutely. Sarah, what about you?
I have no idea. Actually, I think it's kind of like what Paul said. It's when you're in the stadium and you see that many people in amber and chocolate. I can't even imagine that right now. So, what it's going to feel like. I don't know how many of those 14,000 people will be in Sutton colours. A lot of them will be neutrals. A lot of them will be just people who've got it on, you know, for the day. But I've seen a lot of people in Sutton colours around and about, so there's going to be a lot of people in Sutton colours, I think. And I just trying to picture that. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Well, I had a few moments at Wigan where the team was on the big proper scoreboard. I know we've seen scoreboards, but the team line up on the big proper scoreboard, and Wigan was probably the furthest away I've ever actually watched Sutton, because my eyesight's shocking, even in our ground. I was like, who's that? Who's what? Who? But yeah, it's just going to be a whole very weird experience. I have to go and see the fan zone, because that sounds amazing. It sounds like a tent with overcharged beer, but it's got a name on it and fan zone next to it, so there's going to be some photos of that. But one little strange little thing, one of the guys from work, his mate has bought tickets for a lot of them. I think there's 7 or 8 of them, and he happened to have his seat right in front of me. 90,000 seats in the stadium. 14,000 open to us, and he's got the seat in front of me. Poor bloke.
Poor git. Absolute poor git.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan who came to Leighton Orient match. So it's going to be, as soon as anything happens, I'm going to be like, ah! Bashing the poor bloke on the head. But yeah, no, it's just really all a bit weird. As I said, I said it in a tweet, but the fact that Bruce and Matt made made time, because I know they've been mentally busy this week, made time to just talk to me on this little podcast. And it was as if I was from the BBC or something. They were quite happy to give it all that. I was like, oh, it was afterwards. I was really nervous, obviously. But afterwards, I was like, wow, hang on. They just treated me just probably better than they would have for someone else. So, but and Matt said he'll come on again. That's a verbal contract, Mr. Gray. But on to the game. I mean, apparently they're a fairly big and direct side like us, so it may not be a feast of football, or it could be a 5-4 thriller. What do we think of the game? Is anyone even thinking of the game, or not? Yeah, not too bothered.
It could be anything. Like these cup games, you can't really predict them. People keep saying, "What do you think the score is going to be?" And I'm like, I don't know, and I don't care. But for something that means so much to me, that sounds a bit weird. So I should probably expand on that. It's like, you know, you can't predict cup games, especially ones between sides in different divisions. Anything could happen on the day. And to me, I don't mind what happens. It's the fact that we've got there, like we've all been saying, it's the journey getting there. It's the being there that really matters. And if we win, that will be incredible. It will be absolutely incredible. But if we lose, it will still be amazing. So, whatever. Come on, mate.
Yeah. I've mentioned before, it was for me, it was when I was eating breakfast the next morning after Wigan and scrolling through social media that it dawned on me that it wasn't just about getting through to the semi-final. There's a match with a trophy and all sorts of things available to us. Oh, wow, there's more to come.
One of my favourite moments, Mike, I have to say, was after the Wigan game. Me and the brothers and Sarah in Dave's car going around the roundabout, and we just shouted Wembley out the window. But then the best thing was we missed our exit, so we went round again. You look so confused. Oh, but that moment of like, can we do this all the way home? Like, can we just shout at random people? Is that okay?
Well, I thought it was deliberate. I think
no, we accidentally missed our exit. Right. Yeah.
I thought one of you shouted it on the first one, and then I thought you wanted to go, let me have a go, and going round again and did it deliberately. I was like, why would you add an extra 2 minutes to your long-ass journey home? But yeah, that was, hey, what? Oh yeah, I know who that is. And then it happened again. What? Just deja vu coming along here.
A little thing I read about Rotherham, which I'm sure you won't be surprised by, Mike. When I don't know if it's been their last 4 visits or something, but they've always had a player who scored a brace of goals. They've had a player score twice at Wembley. If they score one, they score a second. So they're all predicting, who's gonna be the player who scores 2 goals for us.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's confidence, overconfidence. I try to eke as much out of it as we can.
I just love that someone does some research. So just at least one person does something. How are we all getting up there? Are we start? I know we had a conversation about tickets with times on them. That confused me, but I'm glad that got sorted out.
Ignore it, yeah.
I think the idea was to stop people rocking up at like 5 to 3. And I was like, oh, we're going to be the exact opposite to that. We're going to be turning up at 1:05. Let's see. Open. 1 o'clock apparently.
1 o'clock, yeah.
So I can sit in my seat for 2 hours. Cool. Okay.
We've paid a lot of money for this seat compared to what we normally pay. I'd like to enjoy it. Thank you very much.
I had to quote Nick, I've paid for a seat. I'm going to sit in it.
Or stand on it in Nick's case.
Yeah, because you lot are a little bit further back, aren't you? So you don't get told off for standing.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Like you said about the fan zone. Like I think I'm just going to stand there on Wembley Way for a good couple of hours, just going, like heading up, leaving Sutton just after 11. Tubes and trains. So,
I asked Josh very tentative because Josh and Daniel come. They're not sitting with me. They're completely somewhere separate because I just was so selfish and got my ticket and went to everyone. Oh, here's where you can get them. But we're going up together. And I said, oh, are we eating breakfast at home? And Josh was a very good boy. Went, no, we'll make a whole proper day of it. So we're going to meet for breakfast in Malden, and then we're going to get the tube up and possibly visit a couple of the pubs and the fan zone, which is going to be just a disappointment. But
Magic's coming. Is Magic coming with Josh?
no, Daniel, I don't think Magic is actually coming.
Okay.
he said to Sally, he said, "Oh, no one invited me." And Sal was like, "No one invited Josh either. He just got his ticket." So you're a grown ass. Yeah, you're a grown ass man. Get your own ticket. But yeah, no, it's all going to be super, just mad. I don't know. Sally cannot wait for it to be over. I'm just telling you that.
I've had the line from Joe's song from SM1 to HA9 in my head. I'm doing Haley's heading, going singing that all the time. So
I've programmed Rosie to I put the little video up and I said, "Oh, did you hear about Kay?" So whenever I say now Kay, she just immediately goes Sarah Sarah. Kids are awesome. You can train them to do whatever you want.
Can you?
Yeah. Just little reactions. Just constant. Train them. Here's a chocolate tweet. Watch Big Bang Theory. He gives little chocolate treats to someone to make him do what he wants. But yes, it's driving. Divorce is in the air, but we're going to Wembley, so you know. Right. I think we've kind of exhausted the excitement on this. Anyone got anything else to add? Because we're just going to go around in circles and say the same thing.
No, can I just say?
Obviously, you mentioned Joe. Yeah, you mentioned Joe's song. I'm actually going to tag that on to the end as well because I don't have a video to that, so it will just be literally you lot watching a sound file play, which would be really boring. But I'll stick that on at the end because we've got 2 songs.
Mad,
and what are we going to do when we get to Wembley in a couple of weeks' time? We're going to have any more songs? I don't know. What's the protocol here?
That's my daughter's birthday, so we probably shouldn't. We probably just go for the automatic.
I'm going for automatic.
Yeah, I can't be doing a Wembley visit on my daughter's birthday. I'm going to get into so much trouble.
I was asked to do some piece. I can't remember who it's for, and they said about, well, what do you think is going to happen after Wembley? Are you going to what's going to happen towards the end of the season? I said, well, it can either go one of 2 ways. We can kind of limp to the end of the season, or we've actually got a whole load of players back from injury now, and we could suddenly just go, right, here we go, and just, I said, wouldn't put it past them to go on a nice little,
Get that train going again.
Exactly. But that's another story, and we'll all freak out on that as well. Right.
I just want to enjoy the day. I just want to enjoy the day, take everything in, and never forget it.
I have this horrible feeling that eventually when we start getting there and we're there and we kind of get to that moment of taking it in, it's just going to go like that and it'll be over and we'll be sitting there going, well, hang on, what? I've been looking forward to this for ages. What's happened? Why is it all finished? But yeah, it's gonna be,
I think you can. There are some things you can't predict. You can't predict the score. You've got no idea if we're going to win tomorrow. You know, the fact that we're in the final gives us a shout, regardless, even if we are underdogs. But I think with our team, I think the one thing you do know that's going to happen is that they're going to give it their all. They're going to do whatever they can to win this thing. If they don't, they don't. If they do, they do. But I don't think any of us are going to walk away saying, "Oh, we're a bit rubbish today," because I think these players are going to be so up for it, and that's all you can ask for. I think it's going to be fantastic. Which players will actually be on the pitch? Who knows yet? I can imagine, though, bearing in mind Matt Gray, as he's done all season, it's going to be 4-4-2. He's going to make the same sort of subs at around 70 minutes. You know, the usual thing that he's done pretty much every single game. But that's got us to the final, so I've got no problem with that. But yeah, you know they're going to let themselves down. And I don't think they're going to be kind of blinded by the occasion either. You know, we've got some seriously good old heads in there. You know, players that have played at Wembley before. You know, Craig Eastman, who hasn't played at Wembley but has played in the Champions League. This isn't going to bother him. You know, and even the younger players. I mean, I just don't think the mentality's there that they will actually be rabbit in headlights. big pitch Wembley, etc., etc. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna, whatever the score, they're gonna totally do us proud.
Well, I didn't know, but Matt said that they actually, I think both sets of players are going up there today.
They're already there. I've seen some stuff on Twitter, like of them all actually in the stadium this afternoon, looking at the pitch and stuff. And if anyone wants an absolute treat, go on Harry Buterman's Instagram story and have a little bit of a look at Dundo's hair for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh, it is spot on.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that.
Very jealous. I just thought it was a really good idea because they get to do the dressing rooms to do all their little photos, their videos, and all that kind of stuff. I was like, do you know what? Because you when it's the match day, you want them to concentrate on the match, but actually that's a bit mean because they're never going to be in this situation again, and they of course want to take photos and their own memories of it. So I thought that whole idea was a really, really good idea. I presume the EFL have done it, not just us, but I just thought it was a nice little touch.
They'll have Paul there with them tomorrow all day as well, taking photos, behind the scene, as we're all really jealous of. So
apparently he doesn't need an assistant. So
no, apparently not.
Yeah,
rude.
He certainly doesn't need 500 assistants as he probably had requests for. Right, this is actually a very big moment for me because I've got my first message come through.
Yeah.
Not spam message. I've actually had messages come through before from like people trying to sell me Bitcoin and other things. But hello, Alan. And Alan's saying, do we reckon that Dino will be off on his long walks like he does during regular games? Yes.
Yes. He's going to go on one of his long walks. He's going to go past 7 players. He's going to score the winner in the 89th minute. Obviously.
Yes.
I'd love that.
Like he nearly did at Stevenage.
They should do whatever they want to do and enjoy the day because actually this is for the players, isn't it? They got us there. Yeah. It's their occasion.
Yeah.
You know, if we win it, it's a bonus. But like we've all said, it's not necessarily just about winning. It's about the opportunity to play at Wembley and to see our team play at Wembley. They should do whatever they want to do. And we're like, we do know they're going to give it their all.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned, they've got us there.
That's pretty much the only, well, not the only thing, but we can absolutely all walk away from games, and we have done certain games. You're like, oh, damn it, and it's like, it's not much you can moan about. I mean, there's been seasons in the past and certain players in the past where we could all quite happily go, why are they on the pitch? I'd rather have someone else I'd rather give a kid a chance who's going to at least try. But this lot, you're never ever going to say that. It might not go for them some days, but we've all sat at our desks at work and it's not gone for us some days. So
most days,
yeah, absolutely. Especially in this last week, which has lasted a year. Has everyone read the programme?
I haven't.
I've not got mine yet.
Oh mate,
mine arrived this morning and I haven't got around to opening it because I've so used to
I haven't opened mine yet.
Yeah,
glorious
today.
Technicolor, 100 pages of wonderment in there.
Sounds awesome.
But there's like several of our players in there, and all of them have said little things about just what. The reason I'm saying this is because I feel so vindicated. It's all about the team atmosphere, the togetherness, and the club from top to bottom. And I'm like, I've been saying that all season. I've been saying that. Mike's right again.
Stranger things have happened, mate.
I know. I mean, to be fair, a stopped clock is right twice a day. But if I can get to that level, I'm doing very well. Right.
We're just all on the same page. That's the thing. We're all on the same page, aren't we? We're all fighting in the same direction.
That's true.
And we were last season, and that's what got us the title. This is the mentality that Matt has installed in the club. There's no star players. It is literally the mental attributes of these players are as important as the physical attributes, and I think that's the biggest key to our success.
He's the recruitment now. He's very I can never remember the word I'm trying to say, but he kind of always pushes it onto others. Oh, I've got a great team. I've got this and this great this in the background, and yeah, that might happen. But there's got, as I said to him, there's got to be someone pulling the strings to make sure all these people are going in the same direction. But yeah, both him, I crossed my mind, and I just gutted I didn't do it. But I felt I should have done a Mr. and Mrs. type questions for Bruce and Matt, because I think it would have been quite funny. Just
I'm telling you this about as soon as you said that, all I can see and imagine in my mind is Bruce rolling his eyes at you and saying, "No, Mike, we're not doing that."
Yeah. Oh, do we have to?
No.
No, we're not. Carry on. Next question, please. I'm glad the first interview I did with Bruce ages ago, the one that didn't record very well, I'm glad that wasn't on video, because when I said that bit about Matt being a safe choice, I couldn't see him, but I could see him bristle. so I'm glad that wasn't on video. It was just been Bruce telling me off. Right. Enjoy the day. I'm sure we'll bump into each other tomorrow at some point. Probably
Hope so.
9 o'clock in the morning. So we're going, fuck it, I'm going now. Yeah, just try and get some sleep.
Like a kid at Christmas.
I loved your Wembley Eve as well. That was funny.
It is Wembley.
Yeah, I know.
And no one's got me any presents, which is really rude.
Well, it's tomorrow.
Presents tomorrow, surely.
Yeah,
True.
I did say that one, and that nearly got me a punch. So thanks for that.
I've just remembered that it is actually like football time on a Saturday.
I know.
Like there's League Two matches going on.
There is. I have looked.
Northampton are losing.
Salford are winning, which is annoying.
Well, I think the absolute shocking one at the moment is that for the second time this week, I think Oldham are winning.
Yeah,
But they are playing Stevenage.
Yeah, I know.
So-
So they absolutely trounced them.
Yeah. But then bad news for both of them is Barrow's winning as well.
Yeah. And beating Port Vale, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who else?
Tranmere winning, Mansfield are winning, Salford are winning, Northampton are losing.
Leighton
Although
Orient
still
are
currently in third on goal difference. Leighton Orient are winning
winning. Yeah.
at Hartlepool.
Walsall.
No, Walsall, not Hartlepool. Sorry, it's
Oh, I see why you said that though.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the wrong thing. Salford are winning at Hartlepool. That's
Yeah. So we've just gone to 11th, but you know what? I don't care, because when we did the semi-final, we were second or third, and then a couple of days later we dropped right away down. So this time we're kicking off the final in possibly 11th, and then a couple of weeks later we're going to shoot back up. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Get them games in hand.
Yeah, yeah. 7
We
games
have
left.
nothing to fear. Nothing.
I don't.
Well, this
Easter's as tricky as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah. What did you say?
I'm just saying that none of us ever expected to be in League Two anyway. So
No.
if we stay up, which we will, then where we finish doesn't even matter that much, does it? Because we've achieved so much. We can't really expect more than that.
Yeah.
We get it.
I said to, I can't remember who I said it to, but I said to someone, I think it was you that mentioned that being Wembley was on your bucket list.
Yeah, it was me.
And I was like, it was never ever on my radar. I know we got to the semi-final a few years ago, the playoffs, but I never really thought about it, to be honest with you, until the other night. Anyway, right, I'm going to go back over road cry. Right, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to let you get on with the rest of your day. Watch the second half, or listen to the second half of the other football going on, although we don't care. And see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
See you
Enjoy the day
Monday.
tomorrow, everyone.
Take care. And is this coming tomorrow, Sarah?
Pardon?
Is what you're making coming tomorrow?
Oh no, it's not for you.
Oh. Right. See you, Sarah. Bye.
You can take food in. It says on the.
No, you're not allowed to.
You can't take
The
in
list
food.
of rules is one thing that's bothering me, to be quite honest with you. The list of rules is actually really,
You know
really
what?
long, but
That really bothers me actually, because some people have special diets and they have to eat at certain times, and I'm sure they'd get special dispensation, but it just saying no food is like.
yeah,
I don't
it's
like
just,
that.
yeah. The list of things, and some people have only just realised today they've got print tickets as well. So it's yeah. But anyway, we're not going to whinge until tomorrow, right, guys? Thank you very much. Take care. Cheers.
Thanks,
Bye.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Only fools rush in, yeah, I heard it said, so we wisely took our time. It's been 123 proud years as a non-league football side. Now we're taking on the English Football League, and we caught a few off
J, now we're underneath the arch. We're Sutton to Wembley. It's a hell of a ride. We're Sutton to Wembley. Your defence is terrified. The Amber Army at Wembley, with our eyes on the prize. Yeah, we're Sutton United, and we're on our way from SM1 to HA9. Well, we've had a few big moments. The FA Cup sure springs to mind, and the Italian adventure back in 1979. Now with Matty Gray, we're walking Wembley way, and he wears a magic hat. Oh, when he saw the pizza cup, he said, I'm having that. We're Sutton to Wembley. It's a hell of a ride. We're Sutton to Wembley. Your defence is terrified. The Amber Army at Wembley, with our eyes on the prize. Yeah, we're Sutton United, and we're on our way from SM1 to HA9. Gandemonium and the Sutton youth, they'll all be out in force. Cocktail cash out and Dirty Barry's crew spread across the whole concourse. We're Sutton to Wembley. It's a hell of a ride. We're Sutton to Wembley. Your defence is terrified. The Amber Army at Wembley, with our eyes on the prize. Yeah, we're Sutton United, and we're on our way from SM1 to HA9. Yeah, we're Sutton United, and we're on our way to Wembley.